Interesting. Technology is very, very interesting. It is a gift, certainly, but it also can be a curse. Especially the more you use it, the more technologies you add to your repertoire, it certainly can be and seem like a curse when things go wrong. And it's fun when you have to get through it. You got to go through it and get through it. Then you got to get to the point where you don't let it get you. You don't let it get to you. And it's interesting because even in these scenarios, whether it's your plugins or whether it's your website, whether it's your social media platform, or whether it's your um, internet connection or anything like that. I mean, all these things have to really work, and they do work well for the most part. But it becomes a interesting scenario when things start to fall apart because one thing goes awry, so one thing gets messed up. And so it's something that I'm learning because these live streams are forcing me to have to stay uplifted, to stay lifted up. I guess that's a better way to say it. Even when right before I'm supposed to stream, things are going crazy. So, a great example, and I'm not glad it happened, but I'm going to use it. And that's something that I'm starting to really find that I mean, that's what being a template, of being a model is for, is sharing people what issues you have. Even if they may lose trust in your capabilities or what you can offer, the value you give, you can't let that bog you down or bring you down when it comes to still sharing, okay, well, this is the things I'm going through and getting through. And it doesn't necessarily take away the fact that I know what I'm talking about, but it also shows I am freaking human and like you, and we're all striving to run our businesses or grow in our careers, and yet things keep, you have challenges. You're going to continue to have challenges no matter how prepared you are. So, a great example of that, I'm going to share with you real quick, but let me check check this real quick, make sure everything is all good. Okay, but yeah, a great example of that is a I, there's an email tool that I use because we all get email. We all don't email, mass communication, but we all get email. So we understand email. But when you are mass communicating with email, that's a different scenario. And there's a email tool that I use that I love. I love the tool. I love the company. It's a plugin for WordPress, and that's another part too. Is it best for you to have your email marketing tool with WordPress or inside of WordPress, or should you be emailing outside of WordPress using a dedicated platform like a MailChimp, a MailerLite, an Active Campaign, etc. Like things like that, because there's pros and cons to both scenarios. And until you actually test them both, you won't know the full scope of those pros and cons. So I've tested both. Not tested. I literally have used both. So I guess I can call it a test, but I'm using them both in real time practicality, and I see myself really thinking, how do I? And this is something that you should be thinking about too. But should I be emailing through WordPress or using WordPress as my as an email system, using a plugin to do email, or should I use a third party platform? So, for example, I looked at my email because I use Gmail as far as just looking at my own email. And this is a smart tip that you need to do if you are going to be emailing mass communication, always put yourself in the list. Make sure you're getting the emails. Don't just send a test. First of all, always send tests to yourself before you send out the mass email. Always. Send it 3 times. I'm not joking about that. Send it 3 times. But always also put yourself on the email list. So that way you can get the emails that you send out. And I'm glad that I did that because I saw an email that got sent that I didn't send out. And I'm like, what? Because I wanted to pre-schedule an email for a previous live stream, and I did so, and I believe I know for a fact I scheduled it for that day to be sent out 10 minutes before the live stream. Why did I just see that email in my inbox about 20 minutes ago? I mean, those are scenarios that the gift and the curse part right there, because it's like you have the ability to pre-schedule an email. That's great, and I love the fact that I can use email right within WordPress. I use Fluent CRM. It's again one of my favorite email. There's not many email marketing tools in WordPress. There's only a handful of them. It's one of my favorite ones. I love the owner. I love the actual, how do I say, the owner, the team, the features, those things. I love those things about it. And then there's also the aspect that you can hook it up to your own, like a Amazon SES or what is it, Postmarks. You can hook it up to another email tool that sends emails out on your behalf. You can connect it to that. And you can even use Gmail. You can use Google. I don't advise it, but you can even use Google as long as you're not sending too many emails. So that's the beautiful part, because Amazon is pennies on the dollar when it comes to mass marketing emails. I mean, pennies. I don't know the last time I had to literally pay for an email. Whereas when you're using MailChimp, Active Campaign, Constant Contact, MailerLite, all those other tools, you do have to pay monthly or yearly for them. And so that is one of the biggest pros of having a email marketing tool right within WordPress, is the fact that you can send hundreds or millions of emails, and your threshold, you shouldn't be, you're not going to get charged, based on how many people are on your list, how many emails you sent, at least not from the Fluent CRM side. Now, what you connect to it, that's different. There's limitations on that. And I'm really understanding, rethinking, because the email is not my expertise. That's not my forte. Everybody has to do it, but only so many people can do it like great. And there are only so many experts in that. That's not where I stand. So I'm learning more of this email marketing and how this goes, because it's an interesting scenario. Email is one of the biggest ways for us to talk to people on a one-on-one communication aspect, and it's even better to use email than social media, because social media is very cluttered. It's congested. Everybody's on social media. You're competing with so much. You're competing with email, but not in that same context. So I think it's very important for us to really realize that email is so important, because Google has changed up their algorithms. So we're not going to be getting the same love in Google with our websites. This is something that I believe is how do I say, that a lot of people aren't understanding. I think it's misunderstood what Google is doing right now. Yeah, they had the SEO, they had the docs leak and all that stuff. I think they did it on purpose. That's my opinion. But it's changing. The whole landscape of things are changing. I still believe in SEO, 100%. You still need to be doing SEO on your website. You still need to be discoverable. But email is the one thing that we pretty much own when it comes to our audience. So that's why I've been taking it a lot more serious in the past 2-3 years. I've sucked at it in some ways. Just keep it real. But I'm gonna get better, And if you're somebody who's emailing and doing it at great lengths, hey, I applaud you. Like, for real, I applaud you, because it's not easy. Like, email is not easy at all. Be careful with your email, please, because you'll turn off people unintentionally. You won't even intentionally turn off people, but because the email got scheduled out at the wrong time or the wrong date or whatever. I've seen it happen from companies, many companies, where I seen an email that didn't make any sense as far as it didn't apply to me in terms of what I want to see. Also, it didn't apply as far as the date or the content, but I understand more. I'm way more empathetic to understand versus when it comes to thinking, oh man, they don't care about me, they don't know me or love me or know what I like. Yes, sometimes that is true, but sometimes it really is the technology, and we don't, in these days, we're so spoiled to get what we want, how we want. We won't give grace. We won't give any grace. Like, it's like, if it's in our face and it ain't right, you ain't getting no grace. That's how we are. I can speak and say I can be the same way sometimes. But lately, I would say 100% lately, I have really I'm re-engineering my mind to give way more grace in certain things, unless I believe somebody is just not caring at all. They're not authentic, they're not genuine, they don't give a crap. That's different. But giving grace is something I'm starting to get used to a lot more. So when it comes to email, you gotta be careful. Gotta be careful, because it is the one of the things that is going to be the reason why you become successful. I can guarantee that. I don't know a successful entrepreneur that is not succeeding or that is succeeding and they're not emailing. I don't know one. I'm sure they're out there. I personally don't know one. They're doing other things too, but the email is the heart and soul of their business. That's crazy to think that anybody would not be doing email when it's one of the best ways to have one-on-one communication to your audience. So yeah, I just wanted to start that off because in all transparency, I almost wanted to cancel the live. I really did. In all transparency, I'm gonna keep it real. I have time to be doing extra this and extra that, and you have to, when you're in live, you gotta show up. Like, one, you have to show up to the live, you gotta be there, and then you gotta show up with the right attitude, the right mood, being ready to give value, all those things, because if you're not gonna do that, you might as well just not cut on that camera. Might as well turn it off. And recording video is different than live video. That's the reason why I'm doing live right now, with or without anybody present. I'm blessed, whoever is here, who's watching right now, hey, send a shout out. Hopefully my screen is not doing too crazy, because once again, it's one of those things where you gotta do multiple things if you are doing a live video and you're not just going live from your phone and your front-facing camera looking at yourself. If you have other components, you gotta make sure those components work, because that will turn people off. Even if you have the dopest stuff to say, the dopest stuff, the best tips, the greatest value, man, I got all this dope stuff. Hey, people, if you skipping, they ain't hipping. They ain't getting hip to it. I'm learning that. I know that. So that's why I'm getting really a lot more particular by testing out the tools, just like with plugins. Oh man, I got some stories for plugins. And I usually only use the best of the best. Typically, I only like to use the best of the best plugins, meaning this company has been out for a few years, or it's a new company and they have this new edge to them, right? And they have a solution that I need. That's great too. If I can trust that, if I can believe in the founder or the influencer, the face of the brand, that kind of thing. Yeah, I want to use those kind of plugins. And then every now and then I'll take a chance on something that's not so popular, because that will break your site. If you keep putting plugins on your website that ain't got no credibility to them. Plugins are pretty easy to make these days, maybe not so much back in the day. These days, because we have AI, and the AI can whip up a plugin for you. Matter of fact, one of my plugins called Metabox that we use, which is a plugin that helps us put snippets. That plugin now had an upgrade, which I love, where you can create a plugin from that plugin. Come on now. You can create a plugin from the plugin. And it's cool. It's really cool. You create your snippets in Metabox, and then from there, there's this feature I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna start showing some stuff here in a second. But there's this feature where you can literally create a plugin from the snippets, from the code snippets, and then you can take that plugin and put it on another website. And you don't have to put MetaBox on that website. Now you put this custom plugin on another website with those snippets, right? Those functionalities and things that you want, that special code that you wanted, put it on another website, and now you got your own custom plugin. Talking about plug it in, plug it in. You plug it in. So that's something that I really love, about WordPress to a degree. But then there's also the complexities of things, and I do believe that it is an interesting scenario that it's easy to make a plugin these days. Real easy. I think WordPress actually is revising their, not I think, I know, because they just put an announcement. WordPress is revising their vetting process. I believe because of the whole AI and just people making plugins with AI, I think, WordPress is like, hold on, we can't just be letting any plugins in our repository anymore. And they have a pretty good vetting process already, qualification process, but I think they're doubling down on it. They're getting tighter on it because of these new moves that have been made, specifically with AI. That's just my opinion. So tying this back to the whole email part and just showing up part, and using your technology, you have to be ready for the challenges and be prepared to show up anyway. And yes, the word transparent has become a buzzword. It has 100% become a buzzword. You like Buzz Lightyear? I would say it's become a buzzword. It's become a big buzzword, right? Transparency. But you still got to be transparent. You still have to be transparent to a degree because people want to see, people want to know. We're filled with so much either fluff or over polished content. Sometimes if we don't see it polished, we ignore it. And then sometimes if we see it polished too much, we ignore it. Ain't that something? Because there's stats out right now for people who are gaining traction for not editing their video, as an example. Meaning like there are video creators who have an audience that are still watching their videos unedited. Who would have known? Whereas if you typically watch most videos and they're not edited, you ain't watching that video for too long. Because everybody doesn't know how to show up. They don't know how to hold a conversation through the camera, through the mic. They don't know how to be impactful while being engaging. I would say a lot of people are still working on that, especially entrepreneurs, business owners, content creators, freelancers, still working on that. So it's something you have to think about when you're like, okay, I'm ready to do this. That's why I'm here today. I'm going to continue to do these live streams until I have this ish damn near perfected. And there are thousands of people watching. This is the first time in my life where I've gotten committed to a 100% dedication. So I thank you for watching. I thank you for being here. And I'm hoping that this inspires you, if you aren't doing this, to maybe one day do this. And if you are doing this, hey, energy-wise, I'm with you. Like the issues you feeling or you facing, that you like, man, is it just me or is it somebody? No, it's us. I felt like spitting that Kendrick Lamar line, they not like us type thing. I don't know if y'all paid attention to the whole Drake and Kendrick thing. That may be a whole other topic for another day. But, and that's what this channel is for. That's what this platform is for. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to bridge the gap between the nerdiness of WordPress and the culture of society. Specifically the American culture, hip hop culture, youthful culture. I want to bridge that gap. That gap between, because they're very separate in so many ways. And I've traveled the world. I've been at work camps. I've seen them. They're separate, yet they collide often. But I don't really see many people bridging that gap. I never heard a celebrity talk about WordPress. Why is that? To me, that gets a when WordPress powers the internet. Just like Google, WordPress powers the internet. Most websites are on WordPress. It's a fact. We know this. I ain't never heard no celebrity talk about WordPress. Why? And their website might just be most likely on WordPress. But why they ain't talking about it? Why don't I hear WordPress in rap songs or R&B songs or pop songs? Why isn't Taylor Swift talking about WordPress? You know, they all go to Wix or Squarespace. I guess because the money is there. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? They be like ching ching. Let me make sure now. If you hear, come on, help a brother out. Let me know where you hear. Where are you from? Can you hear my sounds? Because if you can't hear the sounds, you're missing out on a big part of the show. Because we haven't even gotten started yet. We just warming up. But let me know what's up. Let me know where you from. What questions do you have about WordPress? Or what thoughts do you have about WordPress that either makes you want to continue to use it or start using it or makes you want to give up? Because it can be tough. It can be forward tough. Like a rock. Oh, like a rock. I don't know if y'all know those commercials. Okay, never mind. Yeah, that probably went over your head. Yeah, it's all good. It happens. Let me make sure everything is good on my end over here in the studio. Let me make sure everything is good in YouTube. Okay, we all good. Yeah. Yeah, if you can hear my sounds, man, let me know. If you can't hear my sounds, let me know. I'm sure you can hear my voice. I would hope you can hear my voice. Whew, you couldn't hear my voice, then I wouldn't see anybody here. But I see a few people here now, so that's a blessing. That's dope. Thank you for being here. Either way, WordPress, technology, tools, it's crazy. It's all crazy. Look, it's so crazy. I'd be like, that's how I feel about WordPress. I like you, but you're crazy. You know, it's like that best friend, you know, say your one friend or maybe your girlfriend or your boyfriend, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes it might be your wife or your husband, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes it might be your kids. You could like your kids, but they crazy. You could love your kids and not like your kids, you know what I'm saying? It's like that with WordPress. I love WordPress. And then sometimes it's like, man, this is interesting. So I'm going to be double downing, rechecking on my, going back to the email part, I'm going to be rechecking to see, okay, is it really worth it? And the reason why I'm again, being transparent, because we make email templates for Fluent CRM. So I'm not saying Fluent CRM is not dope. I love it. I vouch for it. It is one of the best email marketing plugins for WordPress, 100%. The thing is that you got to make sure that your WordPress, the backend, and for instance, like your settings. So when you schedule an email, it's going to take the time from your WordPress time. You don't have that same issue when you're using a third-party email marketing tool. Again, ActiveCampaign, MailChimp, Constant Contact, MailerLite, Aweber. I mean, I could probably name 50 more. They're all out there. But when you schedule in those tools, you don't have to worry about what is my my website's time on. With email marketing plugins, you do, because that's where it's taking from. It's taking from the date, how you date things. So whatever you choose as far as the date format, it's using that. So if you haven't set up your general settings correctly, you could screw up your whole email marketing campaigns. These are things you don't know. People don't talk about this that often. You know, they really don't. There's only so many people that are really going through the fire. Now I know that we hear about and we think everybody's talking about the problems and the issues. No, they are not. At least they ain't talking about it from a perspective of giving you like the down low. And that's what I'm striving, that's what I'm going to be doing. And that's what I've been doing, but I'm going to get better at that. It's giving you that DL. You know what I'm saying? I want to make sure that you guys have it from all the pieces, because that's why I'm intentionally taking on so many different, how do I say, processes in some ways. So that way I can see what works and what doesn't work, and I can share that with you all. And that's the email thing. That was a literally just happened on the fly. I'm like, woo, this is crazy. I wasn't happy. What Tiger say? Major Pain? If he's still in there, he ain't happy. I wasn't happy. So it's I love the fact that WordPress gives so much capabilities and flexibilities. But if you don't know what you're doing, you can be overwhelmed. That's one thing that I really have to emphasize: the overwhelmingness of WordPress, all the nuances that you have to control, and you have to also realize some things are out of your control at times, and you got to go and show up anyway. You have to, because somebody's going to see, somebody's going to get something. So yeah, one early gem is be very careful with your email marketing tool. Be very careful with your scheduling. I think that scheduling is a great thing because it's a part of the automation process, right? We want to automate things, but then you got to realize when you schedule something, you pre-schedule, there is a chance it might not work at the time you scheduled it for. And that sucks. And there could be like 5, 10, 20 things why it did not work the way you wanted it to work. And you'll be looking at yourself like, what did I do wrong? You'll drive yourself crazy. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. But today I got time. We got time today. Let me add this to the stage. So yeah, I am a big fan of WordPress, and I'm going to continue to be a big fan of WordPress. And I'm going to continue to show people how you can use it in an easy way, because it can be very easy. It can be so easy to use, but it also can be a challenge. I love the fact that with WordPress 6.5 and going to 6.6 moving forward, they've made it even more easier. I love where WordPress has gone and where WordPress is going. And that's what I think that they're going to be able to compete with the Squarespaces and the Wixes once they get more of the editor together. And this is specifically WordPress.org. So if you're thinking this is WordPress.com, this is not that. This is the scenario where you have your own hosting. If you want to use other hosting, you would go to WordPress. If you want to use their hosting, you would go to WordPress.com, right? So that's hosting and WordPress baked together. That's what that is. But in this situation, I do think that they are getting to the point where they're going to be competing. And what's crazy is they've already talked about how they want to integrate WordPress into other sites like the editor. So it's going to get to a point where you don't even have to be in WordPress to use WordPress. Ain't that something? They already have what they call Playground. Let me see where that's at. Where's their Playground at? I might have to look it up in the showcase hosting. And if somebody knows where it is from here, let me know. Patterns, Openverse, Playground. Nope, I might have to just look it up. Playground. Let's see if their search WordPress Playground. Okay. Nope, that's not where I wanted to go. Let's see if it's here. There we go. That was the developer documentation. So with WordPress Playground, you can literally go here, WordPress.com/playground, and it'll whip up a WordPress site for you. Now I'm still learning more about what this is and how it is different than the staging aspect, because this is new. Typically, when you want to test a site, you do staging. You build up a staging site. For instance, this is why I use SAWP. But now we have Playground, right? And it says test. I look at keywords sometimes. Sometimes you ain't got to look at the whole Bambata. You ain't got to look at the whole thing. You just got to look at the bullets, look at the headlines, look at the key, and then go from there, because we scan things these days. So yeah, this is definitely for testing purposes, right? Building, testing, launching. and I think it's giving you more granular control over things. However, it's going to be like, well, what is the difference between, what is the major difference between this and InstaWP? And this is what's interesting. WordPress actually funded, they invested in InstaWP. Ain't that interesting? So I'm curious on how they're going to differentiate the two because they funded InstaWP. Shout outs to Vicus for that. And so, yeah, I'm curious on how they're going to be differentiating the two. And is this because InstaWP is for developers as well? This is for developers as well, but InstaWP is for average folks too. And Playground, I don't know for sure if this is for average folks or if this is more focused on developers. You know, when it comes to for testing and then building things out with. Going back to the email, I'm gonna keep bringing that back to the because it's very important. Test those emails, right? But yeah, from a testing, it's just like we test our websites. And from a testing perspective, I think this is going to be an interesting, amazing tool, especially when they flesh it out more. But yeah, WordPress is getting to the point where they want to be able to embed, like you can embed the WordPress editor in another site. So technically, it's like you can have WordPress inside of Squarespace or a Wix type of thing, if I'm not mistaken. And then let's see, I saw OpenAI on here, so I'm curious. Integrate with OpenAI, and so I'm curious with this, like how this is gonna work, right here. As far as how you integrate this with OpenAI, because everybody else is integrating with OpenAI. Hey, even Apple just integrated their system with OpenAI with ChatGPT. So OpenAI, they are the lead. They are in the lead, and people are technically wanting to build with them. That's what's I'm interested to see where that goes. And then we have other tools when it comes to AI. For instance, let's see, what is it called? ZipWP. Yeah, ZipWP. I'm curious, do they already have it? Yeah, they already have it. SEO. Of course they would. It's Astra. You know what I'm saying? What is it? What is it? Where ZipWP? So they don't have the brand. Like I mean the company underneath here. Okay, it's all good. Yeah, of course they would. These two guys are behind it, so yeah, this is definitely going to show up in the SEO. But you have this and between Cadence AI. They went two different directions, totally different directions, but they're all, if I'm not mistaken, using OpenAI. You know, they've baked OpenAI into their systems. I've seen other platforms like, for instance, I use ClickUp for project management. I mean, Grammarly, everything now is really striving to integrate AI into their system. And I wonder if we're going to get AI overwhelmed, you know, after 10 or 15 years, or is it a scenario where we're accustomed to it, and if we can't use AI, we don't want to do it. That could be a big deal too. What's different between Cadence's AI? Let's see if they have a picture here. So I just made a video showing some of it. What I like how they prompt you to pretty much set up things as far as, let me go back up real quick, as far as giving them information, the right information, so that way they can help build the content for you, type of thing. Let's go to Cadence Blocks. I'm guessing this is just gonna take me back there. No, it didn't. Okay, cool. So what I like about their solution is you can see it directly in the WordPress. Let's see. I'm trying to see if I can get to an example. No. So this is just gonna be a article. What I like about it is that you're able to edit right within the WordPress editor. I'm gonna click the try demo. Let's see. It's always interesting seeing. So I'm just gonna say Joe Schmo. Joe Schmo. Is that how you spell it? Schmo. There you go. Gmail.com. Joe Schmo. That's who I am. And they use InstaWP. You see this? This is InstaWP. Isn't it interesting how it ties together? All right, design library. So we have the AI right here, right? I have to activate it first. I'm curious, does it show up? Let's see, it's still the content. Nope. So it's not there because I didn't activate it. So let me activate it. I'm sure if I activate it, it's gonna. Yeah. Okay. Get started. See, okay. I didn't want to do all that. I ain't want to do all that. I have my own site. But typically, I just wanted to show you that you can write right within. You'll see the star here in the. I don't know what to call this thing. I know somebody out there knows what this is called. But you can see a star. You'll see a star up here. You'll click it, and just like ChatGPT, it'll prompt. It'll ask you, what do you want to write? I like that. This is different. ZipWP is different when it comes to AI. I am interested though in their Pro, where they have AI wireframes. That's going to be interesting. I haven't seen that yet. I saw the demo that they put out for it, so I'm curious to see. Let's see if they for host, for contact, help center, if they have any images. And this is how new it is, because they don't really have too much of that. There are some videos for it though, but you're basically able to wireframe a website using the AI. That's amazing. I was pretty impressed seeing that. That's how I would want to do things, because I try to take things from more professional. Check my comments, but you can wireframe AI. I mean, you can wireframe with AI, and I use Figma, so we build our own wireframes in Figma. But to be able to do that with a tool like this, that's why I said it's on their Pro feature. You don't get that, if I'm not mistaken, for here. Instead, WordPress test sites. Let's see, what are our features? I'm just trying to see. AI wireframe, I'm at Builder beta. Oh, okay, no, that's on the business plan. So look, we looking together. Again, this is newer. Yeah, so it's on their business plan. Staging sites is a WordPress spin up. Yeah. White label. Okay. I'm not sure what blueprints are for, but the AI wireframe builder. Yeah, I thought that was going to be on Pro, but that's on the business plan. It's a crazy tool. I was pretty amazed when I saw that. So, but that's in what demonstration. I'm curious to see how it works in practical use, how this goes, but we'll see. But these are the leaders as far as what I would say between, not necessarily ZipWP. It's really let's say Spectra. I'm gonna say Spectra. Spectra blocks. Let's type in Spectra. Oops. Sorry about that, y'all. Spectra blocks. Let me reshare my screen. I accidentally turned my thing, hit the wrong button. Spectra blocks. Alright. So, what, number one WordPress page builder. That's a claim right there. That's a bold claim. So, with Spectra, notice how I'm on here, and I really don't see anything about AI. However, if you end up using this, you are building with Spectra. It's going to use its AI to build with Spectra blocks here. But I am surprised I don't see anything about AI on here. That's interesting. I'm sure they'll eventually. But these are the leaders right now. I would say from a WordPress blocks perspective, I know everybody has their own opinion. They're going to, speak their mind on that. Hey, I encourage you to do so. But in my opinion, I would say between Cadence blocks and Spectra, these are the leaders in WordPress blocks. These are some of the most popular ones right here. And they're going at it hard when it comes to the AI factor of things. Do I know who's ahead, who's leading the pack? No, I don't know that yet. We gonna see who it is, But for the most part, I would say they're both doing a great job. See, I'm not biased when it comes to that stuff, even though I use Cadence blocks and I advocate for Cadence blocks, but I know the power of Spectra. And if Cadence blocks didn't exist, guess what I would be using? Probably Spectra. It used to be called Ultimate Add-ons for Gutenberg. Now they rebranded it to Spectra. And it's funny because they stuck with the like the tra. Because if we go to Astra, see that? How Astra, Spectra. So they're sticking with that the naming theme. I'm curious of why they called it Spectra. Interested to know, but they're sticking with that naming theme. So you have the theme, and then you got their blocks right here. Whereas Cadence, it's all on one site. So if I go to products, you'll see I have Cadence blocks here, and I have Cadence theme. They're branding it as one. So just little things that I look at to see. Maybe everybody's not so interested, in those nuances, those details. But I always get a little bit interested in those things. So we have Spectra, we have Astra, then we have Zip WP, all under the same company. All under the same company. And then Cadence, we have all of their tools, their suite, all on one site, and they're owned by Liquid Web, and Stellar WP. And these are their brother sister companies. No, not these. I'm sorry. If I went to Stellar WP, you would see it right here. Let's click that. So we have Stellar, and Stellar has they have all these brands underneath them. Iconic WP. I still wrote Iconic first. You know why, right? If you don't know why, then I don't know. But didn't I tell you today? I got time, cuz. All right, we got Restrict Content Pro. I used to use this before I went to Shore Members, which also is a brand underneath them. And we have Give WP, Events Calendar. I know that's a really popular one. People love that events calendar. LearnDash. I love LearnDash. It's a very great tool, but I know that other people like, man, what's that other one called? It's on the tip of my tongue. It's going to come back to me. Solid WP, which was rebranded from iThemes. Yeah, it used to be, not iThemes, iTheme Security. Yeah, iTheme Security, which I love. Yeah, I used to use this before I went to the SiteGround Optimizer, not Optimizer, even though that's a great plugin too, but the security plugin, if you're using SiteGround, but you don't have to use, what's great about that plugin is SiteGround security plugin, you ain't even got to use SiteGround to use that plugin. It's a good plugin for security. But if you are using SiteGround, you definitely want to take advantage of their with their optimization plugin, because it's pretty much mimicking WP Rocket. Which in my opinion, I know this is a controversial topic when it comes to caching, which in my opinion is one of the best caching plugins, right? Because it just does the job. But yeah, if you're using SiteGround, you definitely want to go that way. I use Kinsta more than anything on our main sites, so we don't have to have a separate security plugin, which is pretty dope when it comes to Kinsta. And that's the difference between having managed hosting versus shared hosting. SiteGround, I believe, has their managed hosting feature functionality, but Kinsta is managed hosting. So for example, SiteGround, and look, I ain't getting paid from these companies. I should be, right? Cloud hosting, yeah. So let's see if they say managed. Cloud, fully managed server. Okay, so we right there, yeah. But it ain't cheap though. So between SiteGround and Kinsta, we have Kinsta. They immediately say managed WordPress hosting. That's all they do. They don't do other things. But SiteGround will give you these other options, which are shared hosting. Which, if you use these, you're definitely gonna need a security plugin. Even though SiteGround has great security, but you definitely need that extra, because they're not gonna go in there and fix your site. Something happens to your site, they like you. If you ain't all right, they like, you out of sight. Like they let you know. I love SiteGround, but they let you know, hey, we ain't dealing with that. Now, hold on. I just noticed something. They might have got complaints. Because I'm going to point something out I ain't never seen with SiteGround. What you doing, homie? Don't be popping up on my screen like that. Who you think you are? Who you think you are popping up on my screen like that? Coming up on me like that. Gotta back up. But this is the key thing I ain't never seen before. I've never seen this. Managed. So let me back out of here. All our plans include WordPress installation, the easy and fast WP starter site building, managed auto updates of the core software plugins, expert WordPress support, and more. Yeah, no, they didn't have No, cause they literally, if you're using SiteGround and you look for the help support, I forgot what the word is called. There's a specific word for it where they'll direct you to the articles and this and that and before you have to go through a slew of things to get to the page where you can literally like type chat with them or call them. They want to make sure you've checked out every other option before they assign a human being to help you because that costs money, right? That person is not free. What's interesting is that was a big complaint that they got about not being helpful with WordPress. So to see this managed, they must have got a complaint. Now their prices is still crazy when it comes to renewal, and most people get tricked by that. See, the key is if you're gonna use SiteGround with the keys, you gotta open up a new account when that thing is up. You know what I'm saying? But don't let them know I told you that. Now when it comes to this managed WordPress hosting, they say this is what we do out the box. So that's why I'm saying like you don't necessarily have to have a security part because they'll go and fix it for you. I don't know about this yet. I gotta test this out because like I have SiteGround. My personal site is on SiteGround. Our testing sites, I use that. SiteGround is like my backup hosting. Kinsta is the main hosting. So I don't do too much with it as much as I used to before I moved to Kinsta. But I never got this. We ain't never had no love with this managed WordPress. So I'm curious on what that actually means. Like, are they gonna go in there if I get attacked? If I have some issues on my site, are they gonna go in there and fix it? Because these folks will. Like WP Engine, this is another one right here. WP Engine. Let's see. Most trusted WordPress hosting and beyond. We power the freedom to create work. I like to read the headline too. You know, if you're a business owner, you're doing business. This is important for us to like see stuff like this. Build, power, manage, optimize WordPress. So they're not using the term managed hosting immediately. I don't see that anywhere here. Whereas here they make it plain as, I was gonna say plain Jane, but I know it's a Jane out there like, no he didn't. No he didn't. So I ain't gonna say plain Jane. We gonna say plain M&Ms. We just gonna say plain M&Ms. I don't like no plain M&Ms. Man. But they say it right here. Like, yo, we have managed hosting, and they're like, we ain't gonna lead with the word managed, but that's what this is. They will go in there and they will fix your site. They're not gonna build your content for you, build your pages, but they will fix your site. This is powered by Headless. Learn more about Headless. Interesting. So are they doing headless? Is this a headless site? That's interesting. Yeah, that's interesting. Headless WordPress. So headless work. Wow. So headless is really getting bigger. To see this as a feature or something, it's getting bigger. Let me check everything. Make sure everybody's all good. Let me make sure everybody's all good. Okay, no question, no nothing. Okay, it's all good. It's all good. Hey, this is what showing up is about. Cause somebody gonna watch this and learn something. You know what I'm saying? You gonna learn today. But headless, that's interesting. Try now for free. And you know it's something that they're trying to push, like it's new, because I don't see nothing else that says for free. I don't want to try now here. You know what I'm saying? Key details. So yeah, that's got to be something new that they're pushing. Interesting. I'm curious to see where headless goes. And for those who don't understand what headless is, I'm probably not the best person to explain it. I can show you examples so that way you can have an understanding. But I'm not the best person because, you know, I ain't a developer. I know headless it's got layers to it and all the things. But I can definitely say that I like the headless direction. For example, with an e-commerce solution that we use called SureCart, this is a headless plugin. So what that means is that this plugin can replace WooCommerce, and it doesn't have the bloat that WooCommerce would cause on your website, because the activities and the operations, like when somebody buys something using this plugin on your website, all that stuff that's happening is not technically happening on your website. It's happening on another platform. And the interface aspect is on your website, but the actual processing of what's really happening, that's not happening on your website. That's how headless. That's how I will explain it, you know, from a very simplistic standpoint. And that's why I like going the headless direction. It does have its pros and cons as well. Like, I thought it was just pros with headless. and it ain't. There's some cons with headless. I've learned that too, with our platform and testing it out, because you can't get as customized with, and you're boxed in some ways, but it's kind of, they it's that's done on purpose, the same way you don't want to recommend, if you have clients or you know people who need a website, you always don't want to recommend WordPress. Even if you vouch for WordPress, you love WordPress. However, you don't always want to use or recommend WordPress because of the fact that it can be overwhelming. The flexibility creates complexities. I always put those two words together, because the more flexibility you have, the more complex aspects you're going to create. Whereas if you're really stiff and you're not flexible, well, there's not much you can do. It's like being a human being. You know, if you are disabled, there's only so many things you can do. You only so many places you go. You're handicapped. You're within this box. Whereas if you're not disabled, well, that's how we get ourselves in trouble. You know what I'm saying? We be in places we ain't supposed to be, doing things we ain't supposed to be doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, you're like, hey, I got an arm, I got a nose, I got a body, I can walk, I can jump, I can do this, and then you end up, getting in trouble. But yeah, with flexibility creates complexities. So it's a gift and a curse when it comes to headless. I find more pros with it than cons, especially for people who don't need all of the nuances that WooCommerce will give you, as far as you can customize it how you like and add all these plugins to it and do all these other things. That's not what SureCart is for. So SureCart is like a Wix or a Squarespace, whereas WooCommerce is a WordPress, or Magento. What else is out there that you can build websites with that are basically really, really robust content management systems? I'm trying to think. It'll come into my head. But that's what WooCommerce, that's the difference. Now, WooCommerce definitely just had an update. I'm glad that they changed because they messed up. Hey, WooCommerce, if you're hearing this, hey, I rock with y'all. Don't get me wrong. I rock with y'all. We build templates for y'all too. So I'm glad y'all went back to the WooCommerce and not just the Woo, as far as because y'all know y'all messed up. But I like that, because we get to see that as the audience, how the major company like WooCommerce said, we're going to take a chance to try to change our branding and our brand name, and then it backfired. People were like, people got the woes with the Woo. You know what I'm saying? Like, people got the woes with the Woo. So they went back. And then they start talking about, hey, we're making it faster. We're improving the speed with WooCommerce out the box. So I'm curious to see how that goes, but that is the whole purpose why people want to use SureCart, because they want to increase their speed. Also, they don't want to have to plug in all these different things to get the functionality that these features are going to give you. These features are all baked right into the plugin of SureCart. You ain't getting none of that within WooCommerce by itself. You got to add things, add add-ons. So that is a big difference between the whole headless, not headless, or having a kind of a all-in-one solution versus having a do what you want solution. Do how you see fit, or as they say, the young ones, that do you, boo boo. You got that. You got them capabilities and possibilities. That's how I see it. Let's see what is up with and then this right here, the WooCommerce hosting part. Be careful when you look at hosting that have marketing terms, because they'll trick you. Like, they'll trick you. WordPress hosting, WooCommerce hosting, it's the same thing. Wait, what's the difference? It's marketing. Let me click this. WordPress hosting from $299. WooCommerce hosting from $299. See what I'm saying? Marketing. But the average person will come here and they will get confused. They'll be like, oh yeah, I don't need WooCommerce. Let me click this. Or yeah, I need WooCommerce. Let me click that. I mean, it's smart. This is what we got to do. Hey, I take tips from this. I look at this. We have to do stuff like this. But that's what marketing is about. It's a marketing scenario. So yeah, I would definitely say that just be careful when it comes to your security, because other than me seeing this right here, which is interesting, if you're not using managed hosting, you got to do your own security. You got to have a security plugin. The hosting will do a lot of security for you from the fundamental technology aspect of it. However, if you get hacked, yeah, they're gonna ask you for some money to fix it. Most likely. That's what I'm talking about. Whereas with managed hosting, if you get hacked, well, that's why you're paying that large price. You're paying that money because you don't want to have to lose out on money moving forward. You know, you don't want to do that. Let me click out of here. Y'all ever got like 50 million tabs open and you can't find you can't find the tabs? You're like, damn it, get out my way! All these damn tabs. Oh. But yeah, that's why I just was interested going through here when I was looking at the brands of these major companies, these big boy and girls out here, seeing what they're doing, what moves they're making. Now, there's much more than this. I'm just touching on the surface of a few things, just giving y'all some tips, as well as showing you practically what I really use, what I don't use, and why I use it and why I don't use it. Because I want to build websites that work 10 years from now. It's just that simple. And when you're using things that are not popular and they're not credible and they're not forward thinking, they're not innovative. When you use things that are not innovative and they're not forward thinking and they're not backed by at least a company that's trustworthy, I like that. Then you risk having to update your website dramatically. Now, there's updates in WordPress. We know this. But I don't want to have to keep fixing my website every damn day. Every other day. Every week I got to fix this and fix that. That's going to happen more often when you are using plugins that are not credible or they're outdated. I can't stress that enough. I think most people, they look at plugins like kids in the candy store and they just be adding anything. So let's talk about ChatGPT. Let's talk about ChatGPT. So let me hide this real quick. This tool has gotten a major upgrade in itself, and this is worth talking about. This is 100% worth talking about because, as I just mentioned, these folks here are integrating into OpenAI, and even Apple has integrated into OpenAI. I like to use the source. I like using the tools within the tools, right? Using the tools, but I also love to focus on using the source. And ChatGPT is part of the source, owned by OpenAI. And the ChatGPT 4.0, I don't know, I forgot what the O stands for, but 4.0 looks like 40. I know. Listen, hey, for you folks out there that came from, you know what I'm saying, like back in the day, we all got some parents, somebody, uncle, somebody that was drinking them 40s. I was like, oh, ChatGPT getting drunk now, huh? But yeah, ChatGPT 4.0. This model here is an interesting model because when it first came out, I thought it was all upside, and it's still mainly upside. But then I started to use it more, and I mean, sometimes this thing could act like a big ass kid that don't want to listen, and it just does what it wants to do, and it wants to be right, and it thinks it's right. It's like a teenager. Teenagers, they don't want to listen. This gives me them teenager vibes sometimes because while it is smart, it's a lot smarter than the 3.5. When you ask it to, let's say, do something else, sometimes you'll give it a prompt and it will ignore what you say, like don't do this or don't do that, and it'll just rewrite the prompt. Sometimes I have to tell it, like, do not write anything, just tell me you understand. And guess what it does? It still writes anyway. It wants to be right. And I'm like, yo, that's crazy that this thing be acting like a teenager. So then I have to go back to 4 sometimes. I've used 4.0 mainly, but then I started testing 4, and 4 it'll slow down a little bit. It's faster than 3.5. However, it will address some of the things that you tell it or you ask it to do before it actually writes out the content. That's what I like about 4. I've noticed with 4.0, it don't do that sometimes. I would say oftentimes it don't do that, and that gets very annoying. So if you're using ChatGPT, just keep that in mind. Realize that. Test between the two, 4.0 and 4, and see what happens. See what happens in your results. Let me see. Let's do 4.0. What are the most popular WordPress plugins for the, let's see, Gutenberg? This is what's cool too. I can do this. Editor. So you can speak to it too. Interesting. That's interesting. The two that I've been speaking of, and I promise you, this is live. I didn't pre-plan I didn't pre-plan. This is not a GPT. This is not a custom GPT. I didn't pre-plan this. So the two plugins that I mentioned, Spectra and Cadence, even ChatGPT recognizes them as the most popular. Now the interesting part is it's calling it Ultimate Add-ons for Gutenberg. Brainstorm Force, that's who owns Astra and Spectra and ZipWP. That's interesting that it still calls this. I wonder. Let me ask it this question. Let's do this. Let's see what else. Hold on. Stackable, atomic blocks, code blocks, advanced Gutenberg, otter blocks, generate blocks. Okay. So let's see. Is this the actual name of what it's called, or has it been renamed? See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? The plugin Ultimate Add-ons for Gutenberg has been renamed and now is known as Spectra. Why didn't you tell me that in the first place? Like, why didn't you let me know what that was in the first place? So these are things that you have to, when it comes to AI, you gotta double down on your double checking. You do. You do. I catch it off guard all the time. Like, are you sure? Are you positive? I don't know about that one. But I'm not saying it happens often enough where I can't trust it. No, it doesn't happen often enough where I can't trust it, but it does happen from time to time where you need to double down. So let's go to 4. And I love how you can just change the model right within. And I'm going to say it one more time. And I'm going to open up a new, so that way it doesn't use the content from previously. New chat. And we're in model 4. What is it? You know, that's the same thing. See, it's a little slower. So that's the thing with 4 is it's still faster than 3.5. We get some different answers here. So I didn't see get with before. Yeah, they definitely had some different answers. But guess who's still at the top? Isn't that interesting? Guess who's still at the top? Cadence and Ultimate Add-ons. These two are competing heavy. I mean, so heavy. So heavy. And for those who don't know, because look, around here, I let y'all know what's up. Let me see if I can. Are they gonna show the face? No, they ain't gonna show the face. Let's see. No, it definitely was on ZipWP though. They had them. Yeah. So he used to work with them before Adam hopped over to Spectra. It is interesting to see like how they're now the biggest competitors, in the thing. Let's see. Okay, now let's ask Google, because Google got the AI thing going on too now. They got the generative AI results too. So well, looky here, 1 and 2, they're right next to each other. Isn't that interesting? Oh no, that's Ultimate Blocks. Spectra over here. Okay. So I see Spectra, Cadence blocks. I see Genesis, code blocks. I never heard of code blocks before, so that's interesting. 15 more. Yeah, Gitwid, Ultimate Add-ons for Gutenberg, which is interesting that because this is supposed to be rebranded, so it's coming up twice. But that's the thing, even when you rebrand, when you've been known for so long, and especially when you still have stuff out there, you're still gonna be you're still gonna be called that. So that's interesting to see that these are the two, and they are head. They're going neck and neck. I actually, I'm curious who uses them together because I tried to use them together, and we were having issues. So I'm curious if who's using because there's certain blocks, for instance, there's certain blocks that just don't come that we don't have access to. As let me go here. As Cadence users, they're still working on. Everybody doesn't have all the blocks in the world. That's just reality. And I wouldn't want to use a platform that has all the blocks because I'm gonna believe that some of the blocks that they have ain't right. Like something is not right with it. Let me double check my. Okay. All right. Let me double check my sounds. What's interesting? I get paranoid now. These streams I've done, where my soundboard wasn't even the setting for the audio. It was coming from my computer. So although I was being heard, it sounded different. That's interesting. Yep. That's what's happening. I already see. Uh. Okay. All right. All right. Now I changed it over. It is. This is interesting. This is interesting when you think you are when you think you're good. Um, but moving forward, the blocks aspect of things, they don't have all the blocks that you may need. So sometimes you do need something else. You do need some type of custom block, or you need another block plugin. So that's what I mean by we wanted to use them both together. Because, for instance, like call to action. Well, no, that's yeah. They don't have that button. What else? There's a few ones on here that let's see. Info box. Let's see, this is grid, inline, table, post timeline. This was the one. This is the button. This is a block that I really like, but Cadence doesn't have it. So we wanted to use Spectra just for this block, for example, and we're just having issues of them talking together, like of them working. There was issues of having both. Now, I always recommend that if you're going to use multiple block-based plugins on your website, keep it at the minimum of like two. Don't go to three, and you can. It's good to do so. But for some reason, these two were just not working together. I don't know if that was just by design or if that was just divine or that was just my time. I have no clue. But these weren't working in this scenario. So just something to keep in mind when you're using these two together. The cadence blocks and the Spectra blocks. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, though, that Spectra has way more blocks than cadence. If I'm not mistaken. Now, I'm not saying that that's a great thing or a good thing. I'm just saying that is what it is. And I know that for a while, Cadence was really heavily focused on the AI features, like getting this together. Where are we at? Where are we at? Where are we at? What page is that? I think it's on the blocks. Let me go back to it. Yeah, really big with the AI features. So that they had to allocate resources and time and efforts to their AI feature. So I think, if I'm not mistaken, that may have slowed down some things on the block side. I do believe they're going to be catching up, adding more blocks. But Spectra, they went hard with and plus they already had ultimate add-ons for Gutenberg. So a lot of the stuff that they had, they just were able to build on top of, rebrand and continue to build. That's how it be. That's how it be. But yeah, it's crazy that from all the results that we're getting from Google and from ChatGPT, it says that these are the top ones. So if you're using a page builder, now I can type in what is the most popular page builder, and we all know what's going to come up, right? Or do we not know what's going to come up? I don't know. Do we know or do we not know? Let me go at it. Let's see. What is the most popular page builder for WordPress? Let's see. Hmm. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, yeah, I did say it up here though. So yeah, it's definitely okay. It was what I thought, but they have WP Bakery, Beaver Builder, and Divi. Yeah, WP Bakery is still or Visual Composer, will formerly known. Yeah, another rebrand. It's interesting why this is so popular as a page builder. I'm very curious. Like, what makes this? Why do people like this so much? And I would have to guess. This is my guess right here that it's like to the email world. So again, going back and tying back the whole email thing to the email world, this reminds me of this. I'm gonna show y'all of this right here. Constant. Whoa, what's going on? Constant contact. That's just it's flickering. Constant contact for me is like old people's email. Like constant contact and Aweber are like old people's email. That's how I see it. And I'm not saying you old if you use constant contact or Aweber, but it's it's an older demographic. And that's how I see WP Bakery. I see that as an older demographic. The reason why I'm saying that is because I don't see Generation Z using this. I can't see that. I can't see anybody underneath the age of 25 using WP Bakery. I can't see that. Maybe not even under the age of 30. I see people over the age of 35, 40 using that. But if you're getting into WordPress and you building out websites, I think you're going to use Elementor, Divi. Those two. They're going to use Elementor, Divi, WP Bakery, and Beaver Builder. I don't see people. I those are more, in my opinion, older type of demographics for use cases. And I don't know what's so dope about Beaver Builder. I mean, people love it. Some people swear by it, and I'm very sure it has some great functionality with it. It wouldn't be on this list if it wasn't popular, known or tried and true. But I'm curious. I'm wondering if like the demographics is Elementor is more youthful, younger folks who want more bells and whistles, more flashiness, and then WP Bakery and Beaver Builder are more for the older folks. And then like Gutenberg, I wonder if that's kind of like the middle ground between you can go either way type of thing. I never thought of it that way, but now I'm thinking of it that way, the way that they're listing this out. Does that make sense, or does that sound like it don't make sense? I'm hoping it makes sense. Let me exit out of here, and because I just hate all those tabs open. tabs is not good. Is this what you want? Tabs is not good. But that's it. I wanted to just share some of my thoughts when it came to the tools, what kind of tools, WordPress tools, just WordPress in general, plugins, just using technology and being able to demonstrate the failures that we go through when we are looking to build our brands and build our websites and build our businesses. Man, you gonna go through it. I know a lot of us are seeing the people who have already made it, telling us about the things that they went through. Only so many folks are going through it while they are making it. And I want to be a part of that group of people because I think that not saying anything and waiting till you make it, I don't think that that's the best path for us these days. I think people do want to. And it's a weird thing. You can't show everything because you will lose. But then at the same time, the people that you do lose because you show more than most as far as your bumps and your bruises are concerned, those people, in my opinion, weren't really meant for you anyway. That's how I see it. But the folks that rock with you even through those bumps and bruises that you show, that actually can trust you and say, okay, I see what they're doing. Just because they're going through some things doesn't mean what they have to give or offer is not going to be good. Those folks, that's different. Now, hey, everybody has their own reason and ways for how they see things. So that's pretty much how I think about it. And I'm becoming way more empathetic. I was already empathetic because I'm an empath in many ways. That's why I keep to myself a lot, because I can get drained from other people's emotions real fast. And I don't even do it on purpose, it just happens. And I'm also an introvert to a huge degree. I'm an ambivert. That's actually what I am, because I'm both introverted and extroverted, but I'm more introverted than I'm extroverted. And people assume you're extroverted because you do video. It's a funny thing. They're like, "Oh, you do video. You must be a person who's extroverted and likes to talk to people." And I'm like, "Nah." And same thing when you're a speaker. Oh, you must be an extrovert because you speak. You speak at conferences and things, and you're like, no. So that's why I was like,
Yeah, I got time, cuz.
so that's why I was like, it's interesting because you just gotta know. You gotta know yourself. You gotta know yourself. You have to know yourself. You don't have to be an extrovert to be present and to show up and to share folks who you are and how you are and why you're here and what you're doing. You ain't got to be an extrovert for all that. I'm just being honest with you. Just being honest. So hopefully today you got a little bit of something. You learned a little bit of something. You are on to something. You're on to something, and you're learning. You're learning from your own mistakes. You learn from others' mistakes. Heck, you even learning from my mistakes. Because, like I said, I almost didn't want to do the live. I really almost did not want to do this live. But I have to give a shout out to those who've been here with me. Thank you very much. Hopefully you can hear the sounds now, because if I'm assuming maybe you couldn't hear the sounds because my microphone wasn't on the right thing, but yet my speaker was on the right thing. It's just like, yo. Or maybe you were hearing the microphone through the computer, but then you did hear the sounds through the speaker. It's so crazy. It is crazy out here, man.
You're crazy. You're crazy, man. You're crazy. I like you, but you're crazy.
It's crazy out here when you're trying to combine a whole bunch of things. If you are at all interested in cadence blocks and you are using cadence blocks and you need some templates for cadence blocks beyond what they give you in their design library, I am throwing in the chat a special offer. We're doing a flash sale. Flash sale. Say that 3 times fast. Flash sale, flash sale, flash sale, flash sale, flash sale. No, I'm doing a flash sale. I'm going to put that in the chat real quick, because we're going to be changing up some things for next month. So I wanted to offer folks an opportunity to get in now before we make some updates to our website, one, which is going to be great, and then pricing as well too, which I would say is going to be great, but for some folks out there, it might not be so great. Depends on where you are and who you are. Let me drop that in the chat right now. And I know it's on YouTube. I'm not sure about LinkedIn. Yeah, I'm not sure about LinkedIn. Let me see. This is an interesting scenario when you are looking to multi-stream to multiple platforms. However, the streaming service you're using, I don't know how much you guys know about the streaming platforms out there, but with these streaming services like a Restream or a StreamYard, which I advise to use if you're going to go live stream, I would advise to use a streaming service, not go live stream directly to the platform. That way you can expand your audience, and that way you have more customization of your show. I look at live streaming as putting on a show, and that's why I'm doing this right here, right now, because I can't edit this. Like I can only say, do I want to keep this in the database, in my vault, in my catalog, or do I want to delete it? Lately, I've just been keeping it. I have a goal, 100 videos. I don't care if they're live streams, shorts, long form, 100 videos before the end of the year. Right now, I'm at about 30 plus, and live streams definitely count because these things are long. But when you live stream, either you're going to decide keep it or not. You know, you can always download it and edit it and upload it, but that's still technically not keeping it if you think about it. And so you have to say, okay, do I want to let this go, or do I want to, delete this? There's things that we have to think about when we're growing as entrepreneurs. That yeah, you definitely want to clean up your, for instance, you have an Instagram profile. I've seen a lot of people. I'm sure you've seen a lot of people have Instagram profiles, and you go to their profile, and there's pictures or videos that you were able to see before. They're no longer there. There's oftentimes where that's done intentionally. That is done by design, so a person can refresh, can clean up, like cleaning up their house. So you want to think about that. When you're creating an email, for example, you can't take that back. You can't take that back at all. It's like a live stream. You can't, and unfortunately, it's beyond a live stream. Like you can't delete it. Once that email is sent, it's sent, whether you meant to send it or not. So that's why I said in the beginning of this live stream, you have to be careful. Double check your email sending 3 times, 4 times if you have to, 5 times. Send that test email. When you pre-schedule emails or you create your automations, I can't tell you how many times I have set up these automations and something went wrong. You have to remember to turn off certain automations. Man, it's like crazier the more automatic things you set up. It's like it's a weird thing because yeah, it's happening automatically. Like you're setting these automations up so that way it can save you time. I have a saying, don't take this because I'm gonna get you if you do. But you either spend money to save time or you spend time to save money, but you can't have both. That's my version of having your cake and eating it too. And so it's that scenario where you have to be really, really careful. Because, yeah, the automations could bite you in the butt. And years ago, when I was getting heavy into automations, when it came to automations, I wanted to go gung ho. And now I'm realizing, whoa, what did Bobby Valentino say? Slow down. I just want to get to know you. I don't know. Maybe a little too old school for y'all. Y'all know Bobby Valentino? Dang. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Bobby Valentino. But yeah, you gotta slow down sometime. Even with the automations, you gotta set up the automations. You gotta know when to turn them off, when to update them, and know when they're gonna bite you in the butt because it'll automatically do some things. You'll be like, no way, it just did that. You're supposed to be on my side, and you messing me up, making me look bad. Automations could do that to you if you don't know how to set them up right, and if you don't know how to maintain and manage them. Automations will kick you in. They will hurt you more than they will help you, because you'll think that the automatic aspect of the automation is gonna just work, because the word automatic, that's what we think of. Oh, it just works. Automatic. Not all the time. Not all the time. This lessons that I'm glad I'm getting these kinks out. I'm hoping you getting your kinks out. Not in that weird way. No. But I'm hoping you getting the kinks out of your system as well too. When it comes to your issues, challenges, hurdles, mistakes, everything you're doing, I'm hoping you're getting those kinks out. The website, get those kinks out. Because when you get them kinks out, you're going to feel a different feeling down the road. There's going to be some type of level of confidence that you have that you would have never gained. You would have never gained or have that confidence based on learning from other people. No, you gain confidence based on you learning on the fly, in the field, like they say. Not you ain't in the lab. No, you out there. You in the streets. That's a different learning experience. When you in the streets and you learning, and you're not in the lab and you learning. So you got to get in these streets in the positive way. Now stay out the streets if you getting in trouble. But you got to get in these streets to really put your feet to the fire. Otherwise, man, you're gonna be in theory mode. You're gonna have a false sense of confidence because your confidence is banking off of somebody else's confidence that they got from being in these streets. You know what I'm saying? For having a business in the game. They ain't at practice. What did AI say? Practice. What we talk about? Practice? The Allen Iverson? Practice. We talk about practice? We talk about practice. Are we really talking about practice right now? Not a game. We ain't talking about not a game. We talk about practice right now. Not a game. Not a game. You talk about practice? You judging me over practice? You see what I did in the game? Not a game. I'm paraphrasing how he said it. But yeah, you got to get in there. You got to get in these streets. So hopefully, again, you got something out of it. If you need any help, if you need any ideas, if you need some support, hit me up. I'm here. I'm going to be doing these lives every week because I got to get it out. Like now I am so determined to get this ish out my system because it's annoying every single time where you've corrected like 10 mistakes and then one more little thing happens. You like, oh my God, why? But the professionals make it look easy because they've done it a million times. So you have to get out of that beginning stages. And there's going to be times where you fall off for a little bit. It's like when you're striving to go cold turkey. Maybe you have a habit, alcoholic or, some other things, you just habitually, and you try to go cold turkey and then you just get back in one day because cold turkey is hard instead of you weaning off of it slowly and but surely or creating other better habits. This type of stuff here, same thing. There's so much similarities when it comes to building a website. Because if you're just building a website, why? Like, why are you just building why are you building a website? No, you should be building an experience. You should be building an asset. You should be building a channel. You should be building a platform, right? You should be building a hub. You should be building a business tool. Like your website's supposed to be all these things. It's not supposed to be just a website anymore. That's not, if you're building just a website, then you are hurting yourself. You're doing yourself a disservice. Because you need something more than that. And I watched this YouTube video by this woman who was explaining calm marketing today. And it popped in my feed because YouTube, hey, if you're not doing YouTube, right now is the time. YouTube has updated their algorithms for who knows long. No expert knows how long they're going to keep this up because they're testing things, but they're letting creators get love. So this woman showed up in my feed, and I never would have seen her video if she hadn't been showing up in my feed. Like if the YouTube wasn't showing that love, it was random. And she had some dope. Now it was cool because a lot of the stuff she was saying, I'm like, I already know. I know these things already. But the way she was bringing it up and saying it, I really liked her delivery and her point of view from the whole aspect of you don't have to play the social media game so often if you are doing your due diligence when it comes to being discoverable. And so her whole spew about it, her thing about it was like calmer marketing. And it felt so right for me. I can't say it feels right for you, but it felt so right for me because of the fact that I have been learning more about the necessity of being discoverable, aka like SEO, because I hate social media. You know, and there are so many people in the comments that felt the same way. Like they hate that it's gotten worse. You're always playing this game of fighting for attention and you having to like and comment on people's stuff so you can be seen from the algorithm. And no matter how many times that you make posts, you may never be seen on the algorithm. If you post stuff to social media and you don't post it in content management type systems, those people will never see, like they're not going on LinkedIn or Facebook or Instagram to search for how to tie a tie, how to build a website, how to create products. They're not doing that, you know? So it's not the same thing. And so what she was explaining is, you know, when it comes to like, for example, YouTube and Google, you're putting yourself in a position to be discoverable. People can find you instead of you being seen. That's what she called it. You know, there's a difference between being seen and being discovered. And I'm like, yo, I love it. I love that. There's a difference between being seen and discovered, and you think they're the same thing until it's broken down to you. And these social media platforms, they want seen. They may be saying discover, you know, but no, they want the seen. You know, and that is icky for me. I don't mind playing the game, and I'm doing it from as much of as an authentic. I hate that word. You ever just bump into words while you're speaking, and that word just stumps you, even though you said it 50 million times? But authenticity, being authentic, I'm gonna show up authentic as much as I can. But at the same time, there's always still that aspect of you gotta play that game. And then it's like, if you're playing that game, is it authentic? You gotta play that game with social media. With YouTube and with Google search, there's still algorithms involved. So I'm not saying you're still not playing in a game. More so Google now than ever. However, there is a difference between being seen and discoverable. Is your website discoverable? Is your brand discoverable? Where when people are going to a platform and they're typing in their query, their question, you know, their statement, are you going to pop up in the feeds? That's not happening on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok for the most part. It's not happening there. It is still happening on Reddit, Google, YouTube, and such and more. So that's what I love about building websites, having a website, having your own email list, because once you become discoverable, then you can push them to, you know, your email, and that's where you have more of a one-on-one communication relationship with them, you know, until they unsubscribe. And just because somebody's in your list doesn't mean they're going to read your emails, and it doesn't mean they're going to read your emails every time you send out an email, and it doesn't mean they're going to click something in the email, but you still have at least the opportunity. You know, that's what this is. This is a game of opportunities. Like, it really is. It's a game of opportunities. Which opportunity can I create for myself or my brand that's going to give you, give me, give us the better chance of gaining leverage, moving forward, gaining progress? So yeah, I love the way that she had put it, man. She definitely, and you know, her video was very calm, and you know, you want that. You need that calmness sometimes when you need to relax. And so the way she put it, because I know for me, my brand, how do I say, like my personal brand, I don't want to say reputation, but like my style, it's more upbeat. You know, it's more in your face. I'm more direct. At least during the daytime. At nighttime, maybe a little bit more calmer, but sometimes no. But that's just me. Like that's my personality when it comes to creating content. When it comes to just being by myself or being with friends or just chilling, like I'm more of a chill guy. I'm not that upbeat, you know, unless I'm working out in the gym. And then you gotta like, you gotta work out. Can't work out lazy. Like what's the point of working out? But you know, I like the way that she put it, you know, calm marketing, and that's the direction I'm going to be going. I literally deleted my Facebook account. I got off of there. Instagram, I'm only on there for, you know, for more personal brand reasons type of thing. but I got rid of Facebook. That sucker had to go. No, that sucker had to go. So I don't know how you feel, but yeah, I got rid of Facebook. That sucker had to go. Instagram, I'm starting to feel the same way. I'm on LinkedIn. I said, you know what? I'm gonna go back to LinkedIn because LinkedIn has specific ties to the business community, even though it's still a social media platform, but it's for mainly for business. So that made sense. YouTube has ties to the entertainment and education community more than anything, right? If you want to be entertained, where are you going? YouTube. You want to be educated, where are you going? YouTube. So between YouTube and LinkedIn, now depending on what your brand and your audience, they're going to be on TikTok, Instagram, Reddit. That's, where's your audience? However, her aspect of calm marketing, I really like because I'm like, okay, just focus on one or two platforms, social platforms, but mainly focus on your SEO. And if you are okay with, I don't want to use that word if you're okay, because you don't have to physically even have a face to make a video. You can, there's faceless videos all the time. So I would say, if you have the time and efforts and energy, and if you don't, you should learn to create that, slowly but surely. But putting videos on YouTube, especially now, since they are doing this algorithm experiment scenario, you can be discovered because there's people on my feed that are small channels that I should not be seeing. Our channel is a small channel. So I'm curious who we're popping up as far as getting impressions, because YouTube is now sharing creators content on, like, in random. They still have reasons, but almost like at random to see if, what happens if we give more new creators love. And YouTube is still owned by Google. So it's interesting how they're experimenting in the search engine on that side, but they're also experimenting in YouTube search right now. We need to take advantage of that. How many waves have you missed? How many waves have passed you by where you were like, man, I wish I got on that train? For me, it was shorts. I wish I would have got on the train of YouTube shorts when it first came out, because they were, man, if you were making shorts when it first came out, you were damn near 80% sure to be discovered. 80+%. Because they were pushing it so heavy. They're pushing it heavy now. So that's why I'm like, still, it ain't too late. Now, if you get in here 5 years from now, that's different. But them shorts are what's creating discoverability, and it's leading people to your channel to watch the long form content. That's the key. You're just creating shorts so to push them to the long form content. Literally, it's like giving them, it's like you go to Costco or Walmart, or what else is out there? What y'all be going to? Whole Foods, stuff like that, and they're giving out them samples. The shorts is the sample. And then it gives them kind of a taste, and then you boom, all right, now I got this other thing that you can have. You want, here you go, type of thing. So that's why I'm like, yo, you got to get in with these shorts, y'all. I'm going to keep advocating and preaching for it. And I'm practicing what I'm preaching, or else I ain't going to preach or teach it. But you got to get in with these shorts. I'm telling you, it makes a difference. And then use YouTube and use Google and use your email. I think those are the trifectas right now in terms of discoverability and ownership. Yeah, I think those are the trifecta in terms of discoverability and ownership. You don't own Google, you don't own YouTube, so you don't own your audience on there. But you can be discovered on both. Way more than you're going to get discovered on LinkedIn, TikTok. Well, it depends on what you're making, because TikTok, woo. But LinkedIn, TikTok, Instagram, Pinterest is a discovery tool. However, Pinterest is more geared towards women and towards like home type of stuff, like decor. So Pinterest is a very niche market, which if your target audience is women, if you ain't on Pinterest, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Like, if your target audience is not decorum and, visual stuff and things and DIY, that's what, it's not just that. That's not just Pinterest, but because I'm saying this because people ain't talking about Pinterest no more. Like it's gone or something. You know what I'm saying? No, Pinterest is making people millions of dollars still. But what I'm saying is that you got to use YouTube, you got to use Google. Your website, what's great about the YouTube aspect, and I said this in another stream, but I'm saying it again because I'm going to keep doubling down on these terms in these strategies or tactics, I guess. When you make a YouTube video, you're seen in 3 places. You can be seen in 3 places. YouTube, the original place, right? Google, because Google owns YouTube. So if you're on YouTube, Google is going to show you in their search engine. And then you take that YouTube video and put it on your website. 3 places. You're on YouTube. YouTube's going to show Google. Google's going to show YouTube. Right? When you click that video tab, for example, let me show my screen. Let's see how to tie a tie. This is like the infamous, like when you just need an example of how to like show something, how to tie ties. Always like the go-to, you know, type of thing. Because it's safe. It's the safe bet. What shows up first? A video. Where'd it come from? A YouTube. I didn't even have to click the videos tab. I didn't have to click it. And then if this video is on your website's also going to show up too. That's why people who are making YouTube videos and putting them on their website, they have an advantage over everybody. Everybody. Because Google loves Google more than Kanye loves Kanye. And that's a lot of love. And Google owns YouTube. So they're going to show love to themselves. More videos. Just scrolling down, I see images. I see a couple posts, not posts, but links here for websites. And then I see videos again. So what do you do? What can you do that would make sense to add into a video? And you don't have to have your face on it. And it doesn't have to be overly edited or overly polished, but I would definitely say the more you do, the more you should be learning so that you can be making things better. But yeah, if that's not a tactic that you can take home, take to the bank, literally, and then with that being said, the AdSense revenue that you can make once you get monetized on YouTube. So now your business is bringing in your normal sales that you would be bringing in from your services or your products. And then after you get to 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 watch hours, you have the ability to be monetized. So then you can start making money, getting those checks in from YouTube paying you. So you're not fighting the whole sponsorship battle and other things like that. That could be steady, reoccurring income. And I keep telling you, right now, YouTube is pushing really, really hard. Let's see right now. Because I'm incognito, so you know what I'm saying. You know them weird things where you don't want to be air stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's like private a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm not saying I got anything to hide, but then people be judging you like, man, what you been watching? How many times you go watch some cats? Shit. YouTube creators. Let's see. YouTube creators. How can I put this? YouTube creators. No. YouTube, yeah, I guess I can say that. YouTube creators, algorithm. I'll find it. Sometimes when I'm just thinking, I'll just put anything, and then I'll start digging deeper. YouTube algorithm is not a year ago. YouTube Shorts algorithm explained for 2024. Hacks against subscribers. Let's see what else. I learned something new about he talks about it. There's a couple people that talk about this. There we go. YouTube algorithm is helping small creators grow fast 2 days ago. And so he brings up a couple people that have also been saying it as well. So I'm just showing you like, yo, this is not something I'm making up. They've even added the A/B split testing now. They've rolled that out to content creators so you can A/B split test thumbnails. These are the most, just like a website or anything else. Like when I was in Google, I'm looking at the title, right? And then if there's an image. Without these two things, there's no winning. You gotta have one of those. You gotta have those things because this is click. And just because we click doesn't mean we watch, right? So your views don't equate to satisfaction to your audience. Because just because somebody clicks doesn't mean they're gonna watch the whole thing. That's why the thumbnails and the titles make a big difference in a scenario. But yeah, I'd recommend that you guys check this out. Look for that. You know, YouTube helping all creators. Check out this video here by this creator. And it's basically helping small creators channels grow. They're pushing new content. So check your feed. See, when you look in your feed, your YouTube feeds, I know you're using YouTube. We all use YouTube, whether it's one time a week or multiple times a week. We all use YouTube at some point in time. But yeah, I would check your feed. And if you see what I'm seeing and you're not doing this, you should ask yourself why. You know, why don't you have a few videos that you don't have to make a video every damn day. But, you know, every 2 weeks having a video helps, if not every week. Put it on YouTube, then take that and then put it on your website. And then what I use to put it on my website is this right here, Presto Player. Right here. Because this integrates with YouTube. It integrates with Vimeo as well too, but only use Vimeo, in my opinion, if you're going to, you know, if you have a certain audience and you don't want anybody to, you don't want the videos to be on YouTube, like these are private videos type of thing or exclusive videos. Okay, now use Vimeo. But if you use Vimeo and you ain't using YouTube and you're not already making money or famous or you ain't already, you know, what are you doing? Like you're hurting yourself. You're shotgunning your own business because this is not based for discovery. Yeah, people go to Vimeo and they search for things. I know there's somebody out there saying, I go to Vimeo and say, yeah, I get it, but they ain't YouTube, they ain't Google. Not the average person is not going to Vimeo to search for how to do things. But yeah, use Presto Player. This, I would say 100% is the best video plugin for WordPress. Hands down. Normally, I wouldn't say, well, what something is the best. I would say, you know, this is one of the best. Nah, this is the best. They pretty much don't even have competitors, from my opinion, because they have so many features that it's crazy. And this is what I would consider, this is video marketing. When you're using a tool like this, Presto Player, you're doing video marketing at that point. Because these features that you have, muted autoplay, action bars, lead captures, call to action, automation, integrations, focus mode, playlists, video chapters, save position, student, like, come on. Is this not video transcript timestamps, private audio, custom controls, SEO integration, sticky player, YouTube subscriptions bar? That's another cool thing. People can subscribe right from the, so you can make a super customized video that comes from YouTube, paste your own or have your own overlays and have your own customized experience, video player experience. And then you can, but at the same time, you still can have people subscribe to your YouTube channel directly from your website. Dynamic content, more. So yeah, I definitely, if you're not using Presto Player and you got videos, hey, stop putting YouTube on your website naked. Like, put some clothes on. Like, stop acting like one of them kids that just be running outside with Pampers and stuff. No, put some clothes on. This is putting some clothes on. Put some clothes on that video. That's what Presto Player is for. Even this right here, this is using its own tool, Presto Player. You see this? The bar. You see it's playing without me clicking the button, and it's auto muted, because don't ever do an autoplay video without mute. You will piss so many people off. Don't do it. I don't even think that certain browsers allow you to do it unless you have a special tool. So yeah, don't do it. You will make so many people mad. They hate that. Audiences hate that. Autoplay with sound. Oh man. Having no sound is okay. But don't do it where you have sound, because you will really turn off a lot of people. But yeah, I would definitely say mix these things up, man. YouTube video, Presto Player, Google, you know. I'll type in Presto, just Presto. I messed that up. No, I didn't. There we go. So yeah, I would definitely say combine these together with your website. YouTube, Presto Player, and then put it on your website because your website will show up in here. See, I have more videos. Make sure you're using Google Search Console. Google Search Console to control, well, that's not a, let me walk that back because you can't control, but you can have influence, much more influence, and have much more say in what shows up in Google because this is Google's tool as well. And so this will allow you to index, basically have more managing capabilities to say what pages you want to be seen on Google. And again, Google loves Google more than who? I ain't gonna finish it. If you're watching this, you already know you should know how to finish it. But yeah, use this tool in combination with this, in combination with this. And you will have a leg up. A major leg up. So as I mentioned before, why are we building websites? We should not be building websites. We should be building platforms, hubs, channels, assets, experiences. I get that website is the name of this of the body, like the being, the description, what it's called. But that term, in my opinion, is outdated, or there's a stigma behind it that you have this online, live. I'm trying to think of a better word, another word alternative for a website. Brochure maybe, type of thing. Yeah, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. So yeah, combine the two: YouTube, Presto Player, Search Console. Combine these three. I said two. Combine these three on your website, and you will have leverage like you've never had before. And it may be slow. It probably will be slow growth. Most likely be slow growth, but it's long game. It ain't short term. It's long game. Most social media strategies are short term. Most, in my opinion, short term. You commit to this, you're going, like, this is why when she mentioned calm marketing, that it's more about being discovered, being discoverable. So that's the goal. And then when it comes to, some automation, here's another cool thing. There's a plugin, YouTube Importer plugin, that we tested the free version, and I just got the pro version because I like the free version. But when you combine this right here, this auto YouTube importer plugin, see, I know I said I was gonna go. I did know I said I was gonna go, but as I told you earlier,
yeah, I got time, cuz.
When I just get into it, I just get into it. I just want to keep spitting them gems. But when you combine this, then you can auto import videos. Every time you put a video on YouTube, this will auto import it into your website. And what we've done, I'm showing y'all some stuff, right? And again, this is not, I'm not selling you. I mean, hey, if you want to buy the templates, like I said, we got them on sale. I put it in the chat. I put the link in the chat. It's only for the next 2 days. So, hey, but let me show you what we've done as far as practicing what we preaching. I'm my worst enemy, like best friend and worst enemy when it comes to our platform. Now I'm gonna stop experimenting very soon here. That's why I said we're doing a big update for July, but I've experimented with so much so I can share with y'all some stuff. If I go here to the media section, this is where we put our YouTube videos on, and as you can see, we have, it looks like a kind of a blog. Now I gotta definitely do some adjustments. Everything else should be yeah, but you can see that it looks like a blog. It's not a blog. It's a video. And this right here comes from the YouTube channel and was auto imported using this plugin right here. And as you can see, this right here, even though you see a YouTube button, this is a custom player. This comes from Presto Player. So what we've done was we created an automation where every time I create a video, this auto importer is going to be checking for that video, and then it's going to add it to our custom post. This is a custom post as a draft, and I go in there and I publish it because I don't want it to add it, publish it. But you can have it just published straight to your. If you trust, everything going through, you can have it published straight through. So hopefully, you've got something else out of just that part right there. Because if I would have left, y'all probably wouldn't have seen this. But yeah, Chris, to me, it's dope. That's why I'm excited. And then now, when you type in certain things into Google, now this probably hasn't been indexed yet. Our shortcut, that's the most popular video. And I know y'all been waiting for a shortcut video, so I'm gonna hey, as they say, don't break what's working, or don't try to fix what's working. I said don't break what's working. Where is it at? But this is the most this is the most popular video right now. And I believe it's the most popular one because of the fact that these two tools, first of all, WooCommerce is, you got to think about, don't go on YouTube trying to create topics that nobody's searching for. That's the worst thing you could do. Trust me, I did it, I failed. Many other creators did it, they failed. I'm in that long line of just trying to be super unique, creating content, titles and things for things that people ain't searching. You'll fail. You will fail. You will fail fast. You'll get pissed, especially if you are putting a lot of effort to your videos. Lately, I have been getting real heavy into editing my own videos using, don't do that, using Final Cut Pro. I fell back in love with Final Cut Pro, and I've been taking time to edit the videos, like put cuts and sounds and stuff. So no, I'm not a video editor, but I got some video editing chops though. And them joints, the last video I did took 10 hours. 10 hours. So don't put all this effort into your video, and you ain't gonna be discoverable. That's all time. That is a waste of time. Don't do it. Don't make that mistake, y'all. I'm trying to tell y'all, don't make that mistake. But yeah, I'm not showing you this because I like seeing my face. I'm just showing you guys this because I want you to see that you can combine these things and create a pretty dope automation sequence just from one video. Putting the video here, using the importer plugin here, using a video plugin as well, customizable video plugin, and then using, for instance, you can use whatever you want to use. I'm gonna show y'all both. This is what we use to make custom post types. ACF. We could have did it with ACF, but I have a lifetime deal with Metabox, so. And it's not, I don't ever believe in just because you have a deal for something or you got a deal for it, you should be using it. No. Sometimes you got to take the baby out with the bathwater. Don't you do it. You will hurt your business more because you're like, well, I bought it for a year. Or I got a deal, lifetime deal. And it's like and a better tool you can use. Don't do it to yourself because you will hurt your business. Just go. Call it a loss. This is business. This losses and gains. Don't do it, lifetime people that be using AppSumo. But yeah, we use Metabox to create the custom post type that you see here, because you can't do this natively with WordPress, as the blog. So yeah, combine some type of custom post type. I'll put it in the order. I wonder what order, because it's like create the YouTube video. It adds, I guess, custom post type. So YouTube video to a custom post type that. Nope, because you definitely need this first. There we go. So YouTube video imported by WordPress. I probably should create like a graphic for this. I'm thinking about it. So YouTube video that gets imported through this tool here into a custom post type, right? Either Metabox or ACF. I recommend one of these. To a custom post type that then gets pushed into a media player and then ends up being on your website like a blog post. And it all happened automatically. All you had to do was make the video on your channel. That's it. All you had to do is make the video on your channel, and boom, 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 boom. There you go. Is that not cool? Is that not cool? I mean, isn't this what y'all came for?
Is this what you want?
Is this what you want? I hope y'all hearing my sounds. If y'all not, that's gonna suck. That's gonna hurt my heart. That is gonna hurt my heart. Let me check and see if I got anything here. Nah, okay, all right. The stream still seem. I mean, I seem to be streaming this whole damn time. I had myself on the wrong side. I mean, hopefully you guys were looking at the what I'm showing and not like looking at me. But yeah, I would definitely say that this is important. Like looking at this process here, and that's again why I say you shouldn't just be building a website because a website's not going to do all this. Like we go doom, and then put it on here. Nope, a website's not going to do all that. And then because of this, when you have this, now Google can index your site without Google Search Console. They're just going to do it without you being able to like manage things. And then when you use a SEO plugin, right? So here's the SEO plugin. You use a SEO plugin, Yoast, Rank Math. You choose which one you want to use. There's more of them, but when you use an SEO plugin, that gives you even a better chance of being discoverable. I think that this is it, man. This is like if you're the social media game. There are so many people that are going to win. There's only so many people that are going to win that algorithm game, and it's a different type of game. It's a different type of game than this, where your videos live on forever. Your index pages can live on forever, right? Social media, your post, nobody's going back for the most part to your profile and going through your catalog, all your back catalog of posts, unless it's somebody who is either a stalker or they really want to work with you and they want to study what you've been doing. Usually, typically, you're not going to have somebody just go to the thing. Whereas YouTube is different. Google is different. So yeah, combine these tools. Let me put this in the middle. I'm trying to just create this bridge, create this linear flow, with the tabs type of thing. Boom, boom. So we have the YouTube video. We have the importer. Goes to a custom post type into a player here that gets picked up by an SEO plugin here. Maybe I put a plugin, right? Because the good thing about Rank Math, watch. Hold on, let's see if I can. Hey, I bet you they're using Presto Player. I bet you that this right here is this right here, this tool right here. I mean, I don't know, but that's my guess. But you can use Presto Player. There's going to be too many features to show on here. Google Search Console. Do they have a search bar? I'm going to see if you. Let's say Rank Math video. I'm just say Rank Math video to see what comes up. So the video schema type. Boom, makes you more discoverable. So then you'll show up in Google with your YouTube video because of this. I believe Yoast has it too, but Yoast costs way more money. Hey, do your thing if you want that. But they got the schema, structure schema, and then they have the video. They have video SEO. So I'll say like Rank Math video SEO. It keeps going to the schema. That's okay. I think you guys pretty much get it. So yeah, I would do that. So use some type of SEO plugin, make the video, use an SEO plugin, put that joint on your website, and that way you can get seen on YouTube, on Google, and your website. Some people go to your website that never saw you on YouTube or that never saw your video here on Google. They just went to your website from a social media platform or they went to it directly, right? But because you have this YouTube on your website, this YouTube video, when they click that button, even when they click the button here, say this is a YouTube video, even when they click this button here, it counts as a play here. You following where I'm going with this? So that's my focus for the rest of this year, is to make this workflow one of the biggest discoverable opportunities for us. It's a long game play. You're probably not going to get a lot of traction in the beginning. You're not going to get a lot of traction in the beginning unless you have some lucky situation. But in my opinion, I mean, And the great part is that you can turn the videos transcripts into a blog post, so you can double down. That's going to be the next game. We have a blog. It's just being hidden right now because I hate writing. I hate writing from a blogging perspective. I love writing one-to-one communication type of thing. Even email can be trouble for me. That's why ChatGPT was a blessing. But even with ChatGPT, I always customize the output. You know, whatever it gives me, I always go in there and I touch it up. I don't like this, I don't like that. No, I want to say this in my voice. Even when it does right, I like to do that. Now, unless there's every now and then where it just spits some stuff out, you like, shoot, I don't even need to do nothing. That joint is just as good as it is, right? But the blog be next. Media was easy because I like to do video, even though it's really, really hard to do it. But that's what I think that you should do. I think that you should definitely look at this as an opportunity to repurpose your content. And the great thing about shorts, this is what I'm testing as well too, that you can make a short and put it on all the platforms. That's what I would do. And then lead them. That's what I am doing. But I'm saying this is what I would do if I were you. And then use those shorts to lead them back to either your website or lead them back to your your channel or to an offering. But when you make one short, you can add that joint on YouTube, on LinkedIn, on Instagram, on TikTok. What else am I missing, y'all? LinkedIn. I'm only thinking about the big ones. YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. You can put one short on all 5 platforms. If I were you, I would do that. I would make a few shorts and mix it up. Put this one, schedule this short for, short A for Facebook, and schedule short B for Instagram, and then reverse it on the opposite end. So, and do that. That way, people will eventually, if they ain't see you on one platform, they see this short on another platform. Because it takes an average of how many touch points? Right now, let's see. On average, how many touch points does it take for a new visitor to become aware of the brand or become a user of the product or a customer? But that was a little loaded, but we're going to see what ChatGPT does. 5 to 7. And that's generally speaking. You will listen to other experts say, no, it takes like 20 touch points now. Whatever the case is, this is just average speaking, right? But it takes touch points. So every time they see that video, oh, I saw that on here, I'm seeing it again. You may think you're annoying people. You're only annoying them if you are doing annoying things, type of thing. And yeah, you may really annoy somebody, but who cares? Because the people that end up working with you, they're working with you because you having this 5 to 7 touch points and you putting out whatever piece of content on multiple platforms and you switch it up a little bit. But the thing about video, see, people will say like with written word that you want to reword it, read it. No, with video, you can just keep the video as it is. Like, I'm not making the same video 5 times for different platforms. Hell no. Look.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that. Or just say, oh, hell no. I ain't got time for that. So if I were you, I would make one video and put it on, or make multiple shorts, so one or multiple, and put it on those platforms. And yeah, you may want to customize the content, like when you put the video out, you put a description, customize that part. As a matter of fact, now that I think about it, I scheduled a short for for Instagram, and I did not add the hashtags. But the video's out. I can go back in there and edit it, so that's okay, as long as it's out. However, just do that. If I were you, I would do that. Make a short, vertical camera, vertical phone, use your phone or use a camera, vertical video, and put that joint on all the platforms, because that's the only thing that will work. Yes, YouTube has their posting part now where you can just post content in the community feed. But as far as I know, Instagram, you can't post just words, right? So video, vertical video right now, it seems to be the only medium right now, because you can't post audio like to YouTube. You got to post the video. You can create an audiogram, but you can't just post audio. Video is the only thing right now that fits in all platforms. You know what I'm saying? Like, you following me? It's the only thing right now that I can think of that literally fits in all platforms. Video. Vertical, short video. Instagram is not letting you put a long form, a 16 by 9, regular, HD cinema rectangle. This is my rectangle, y'all. It's not Instagram. You can do a live, but you can't upload that amount. You can't upload a 20-minute video. YouTube, you can. LinkedIn only lets you upload, I think, 15 minutes on the desktop and 10 minutes on mobile. I think they've changed it. So you're limited. YouTube, depending on if you went through the YouTube, like the settings, you have to go through some of the settings, and you have to verification process to add more longer videos. But you can put a 5-hour video if you want to on YouTube. But from a short standpoint, you can put a short on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. You can put a short on all those. All right, now I'm really about to wrap it up, though. I just wanted to, it was just something that I'm like, yo, let me talk about this for a second. Let me talk about this for a second. Let me remove that. Yeah. So hopefully y'all got something out of it. I'm glad my stream held up, because if it ain't one thing, it's another. So if it ain't the sound, it's the video. If it ain't the video, it's the sound. If it ain't the sound, the video, it's the internet. If it ain't the video, sound, the internet, it's the computer. If it ain't the video, sound, the internet, computer, it's the camera. You know what I'm saying? It's the lights. It's hilarious. There are a lot of components when you are live streaming. Video is different. Like, recorded video is different. Yes, you should do some type of editing at some point, but it's not the same thing as live streaming. No, live streaming does not have to be overly complicated. Not at all. You can just live stream straight for your video, straight for your phone. However, when you want to put on a show, and that's what I said in the beginning, that's what I like to do. I like to create a stream where I'm imitating like a TV show or a talk show or something like that, with sounds and with the lights. I'm not the only person. I'm learning from those who've already been doing this. They're tried and true. And I'm like, yeah, I like that. Like, I enjoy that style. If you enjoy the style that you're looking at, maybe try mimicking it yourself. Strive to mimic it yourself. Apply it in your own way. If it's not a style that you like, if I were you, I wouldn't really do it. So even in my advice on creating videos, even with my advice creating videos, if that's not something you really see you doing, I'm not gonna, push that on you. I will strongly suggest, though, that you find a way to still do it, even through another medium or through somebody else. Even if that's not you on the video, because if you want to grow and you want to become more successful with your business, we all have to do some things. We do. It is what it is. We all got to do some things we don't want to do. We got to take our heads out our butts sometimes. So we all have to do it. However, if you have to do something consistently, it does help to enjoy it. That's all I'm saying. That's basically what I'm saying. So thank you for joining me for this live stream, for as long as you've joined me for the live stream. And I'm grateful for you being here. I'm blessed. I'm grateful for even having the opportunity to do this, because, there are some people out there that that didn't get a second chance. Some people out there that didn't wake up. So we all have second chances, third chances, fourth chances. If we are still here right now, we've gotten multiple chances. So I'm grateful. I wasn't going to let no Debbie Downer scenario with the whole email thing screw up my showing up, because even like I'm typing the second email, I'm typing the email I originally was sending to my subscribers. And as I'm typing, I'm still upset, and the time is ticking. Like, okay, well, you said you're showing up at 1 o'clock. Now, are you gonna show up at 1:05 or 1:10? Showing up late is better than not showing up at all. But what are you gonna do? And so I'm typing it out. And you ever just get more upset when stuff messes up, but you got to fix it. But not only do you have to fix the thing that got messed up, you still got to complete the task at hand. Have you ever felt that way before? You're getting frustrated? Yeah. I know that feeling. I know how you feel when it comes to that. That's a interesting feeling. But I applaud you if you've gotten past that. I definitely applaud you if you've gotten past that. It's because it ain't easy, and we got to do this. We got to be here. I enjoy you all. I appreciate this, and I'm out. My name is Maestro Stevens with Iconic Templates. Peace.